What's up, guys? Welcome to Mgtow Mafia. It's ex-wife time again. So, the name of this one: why you should never go back to your ex-wife, even after you got rid of her the first time. I told you guys that story. Now I'm going to jump a little deeper, maybe. I was married. Got rid of her. I was doing my own thing, my own Mgtowing around town. I bumped into one of her friends. One thing led to another. She's single. I'm single. Then you start thinking, should I give it another chance? Is this destiny? Is this the way it's supposed to be? And as a guy, I'm thinking, maybe this is the way things are going. This is the way life's supposed to be. We broke up. We have our doubts. Things are just going about, and all of a sudden, destiny comes in and goes, bink, her friend. Boom. You talk to her. She's single. I'm single. So you run with it. I ran with it. And like I said before, I remember one of my buddies, older than me, said, you're going to go out with her until you realize the reason why you left in the first place. And I'm telling you guys, that was absolutely true. And then some. I laugh because I don't want to cry. But I remember I did not take everything. I made a mistake. I moved in with her. Just because you're trying to, I forget how old I was later on, but the second time was like, okay, you don't want to move everything in. You move into her place. It's a better deal. Keep my place. You make things work. You try things out. Then you realize the first subtlety is, wow, we're not that young couple anymore. That's when you really hit home. And you kind of think people do things that you didn't do before. They've outgrown those people that you were a long time ago. And you kind of lift one eye and go, okay, you accept it. Put that in a notch and put that in the belt and say, okay, people aren't the same. You try and talk yourself out of that negative. But then more and more shit happens. Now, this is just one thing. We're sitting at the table, and she got the mail. And myself, I'm not touting anything. I'm not patting myself on the back. If you come across a problem, maybe most guys are like this, I'm not sure. You directly deal with it, good, bad, or ugly. So we're sitting at the table. She gets a court paper. Now, again, I just got back with her. So she told me a story. Okay, she slid on ice. She bumped into someone. The girl that she bumped into, at that time, that moment in time, said, nah, everything's fine. Don't worry about it. Well, my ex-wife did not collect any information, nothing. She might have got her name, stuff like that. So she just thought, like, I guess I would have thought, everything's fine, it's going to go away. I think 6 months later, boom, court papers, law papers. She's suing her. Whoa. So, back to the court papers. Sitting at the table, I go, oh, hon, this is for you. So it's from a lawyer for court papers. She looks at it, and she goes, I'm not going to open it right now. I'm going to put it away. And I was shocked. I said, okay, so this is where people grow in different directions. I went, hey, hon, that's very serious. You have to face this no matter what you got to, like I said, good, bad, or ugly. You got to face this and deal with it, no matter how it comes on you, because you're only going to sink deeper in the quicksand if you let this go. There's no friggin' way that things are going to get better. So a week went by. She finally opens the court papers. I forget what they say. I was just using this as this is what the hell can happen. And I don't know. We were not married again, so I actually forget what the hell happened. There's more situations. Another situation was, I remember she didn't like people in the house. She's not sloppy. She just has her, maybe not as tidy as me, maybe. I'm a little more organized, not a big deal. But I remember the look on her face. The neighborhood kid across the street was coming around, came to the door. I didn't know. I'm new. So he comes to the door. I let the kid in. Of course, he looks at me like this. You letting me in? Yeah. I go, why? I'm the girl, my ex-wife. He said my ex-wife's name, and he said, she never lets me in. She doesn't let anybody in. I was like, really? So she comes out of one of the rooms, and she gives me that look. You let him in? You know, that look. It's like, holy shit, I'm dead. What did I do? What the hell did I do wrong? So all of a sudden, the kid, I don't know, he's asked her something about the neighborhood crap or something like that. The kid leaves. She shuts the door, and she yells at me. I was like, what are you yelling at me for? I said, you didn't tell me, do not let anybody in your house. It's a friggin' little kid across the street. What do you think, he's wearing cameras or something? I said, what the hell you got in here that you don't want anybody in? She goes, oh, I'm just a private person. I don't like anybody in my house, blah, 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 blah. I said, hon, if you get a whole page of rules, let me read them right now so I don't keep screwing up. Because I'm trying to work it out here. I'm trying to make things good. But anyways, long and short of it, shit like that kept happening. I am, again, maybe guys are like this. I'm a fixer. She had a couch that was covered. Smelled like cats. So every time we sat in it smelled like cats. And I said, lifted up the top, whatever she had on it. I said, why don't you just get rid of it? You don't have to spend a lot of money. Just get rid of it and so it doesn't smell. And you get another one. You don't have to spend a ton. Nope. Every time I try to improve her life in her house, little things, you know, because I got home earlier than her. I don't know. I'm like, you know, you do your system, you cooking, do whatever. I go, I could improve this. We could buy that. Make life a little easier. No changes. Didn't want anything. Likes things exactly the way they were. Oh, well. Okay. I stopped trying. And that was slowly an X. Another flag came up. And I just said, you know, but I'll tell you, the horror that came over me, and I mean horror, even though, I guess it's just, even though we weren't married, moving some of your crap into someone else's place, trying to make it work, and then when the realization of, holy shit, this isn't going to work. That's what you say to yourself. And I literally said to myself, how do I back my ass out of this? This whole situation went horribly wrong. And I hated hearing the guys say, yup, exactly like it. And I was like, live and learn. Like I tell you guys, live and learn. It's all a bunch of lessons. I didn't listen, but I kind of had to go through it. And I'm ashamed of myself. I was like, I'm not trying to beat myself up. I'm just saying I should have known better. But I was blinded by the potential of falling in love again, trying to make it work, trying to have what a lot of guys have, that yeah, I wouldn't mind a family. But it just wasn't meant to be. Not for this kid. Not with her. And slowly but surely, I would make runs back to my house, emptying shit that I shouldn't have brought over anyways. And then I just said, it ain't gonna work out, hon. We're cutting the cord. It's just, we're two different people, period. And I remember her she looked at me and she said, this doesn't bother you at all, huh? And I looked at her and I said, I go, why? She goes, because you're emotionless. I said, maybe because I'm emotionless because I've been single for a long time and I've had a lot of stuff thrown at me. My skin is a lot hotter. I'm a lot tougher. And I don't know. I was, in my 20s, yeah, I guess I was a little bit of a simp in my 20s the first time. So to make a complete change, and I got hardened and everything else, and just the emotions, she was right. I could take it or leave it. I could walk away from anybody. And it showed. Didn't mean to hurt her, but I just walked away and I didn't feel anything. I don't know if it's because, I don't know, to be totally honest. I never really thought about it too deep. I just, more what bothered me was I made a huge mistake in life and I had to get out of the situation. And it was horrible. And she was caught in it and I was caught in it and I had to make it right for my life. Kinda, I don't know what analogy I could use, but you got to save yourself. You know it ain't going to work. The boat's going down. If you got a person that doesn't want to leave the boat, I'll use that analogy. The captain, if you're that stubborn, say la vie, captain. I'm out of here. You know, there's a good boat. There's a chance I'm not going to go down with the ship. Sorry. And that was it. That was my story, or lots of parts of this one. Why you should never go back with your ex. And this is probably my longest video ever, but there's a lot to it. Don't ever do it. Just, I know guys are going to do it anyways, but don't ever do it. And think before you jump. And one little more piece of advice, if you ever do go back with someone, don't move all your shit in. Just take bare essentials. Leave it back at your place. Because you know what she did? She looked me right in the face and said, yeah, I think I left something. She goes, no, you didn't. She was pissed. And I knew she wasn't going to let me back in. And I knew all that stuff, if I forget what I left down there, was going to be sold. And I lost it. My bad, her gain, because I pissed her frig off. Another learning experience. Have a good one, guys.